Finding someone put her sonogram on the internet makes pregnant women furious. Most pregnant women feel their pregnancy is a delightful time frame in their lives, as they thought of growing new life inside of them as really special. Whenever Kathy found out she was having a baby, she was thrilled. Kathy had been facing a lot of hard issues the past few years, and whenever she found the sonogram on the internet, she was horrified and became quite unsure of herself. Why was it affecting her so completely? Prior to getting ready via figuring out all the medical-related things she had to do, Kathy wanted to have a celebration. So she and her husband went out to have a nice dinner and spend some special time with one another. They were so thrilled and excited about having a baby. Kathy was very responsible, and so she was determined to be a good mom too. Therefore, she scheduled an immediate appointment with her doctor when she found out she was having a baby. Her doctor reassured her that all was well. However, she had another thing she still wanted to do. The doctor wanted a sonogram of the baby to be certain he could monitor the pregnancy accurately and assess the baby's condition. She was in dreamland. It would be the very first photo of her precious baby. Yet, Kathy was concerned too. A lot of women are not sure they want to immediately tell the world they are pregnant. Of course, everyone is going to figure it out eventually, but for the first trimester or so, it is a period of a lot of transition, both physical and mental. So, Kathy was a bit stressed out when she thought about telling everyone. Kathy opted to inform only her husband as well as her mom and dad. She told them not to tell anyone else. She wanted to protect her privacy and did not wish for all her friends to be spreading the information around. Whenever she was 2 months along, she had the sonogram done. The doctor made an appointment so they could discuss her pregnancy and look over the results. Kathy was so excited that she was shaking and was happy she was going to see what her baby looked like at this stage. She had to wait for the doctor appointment to do this, as the doctor hadn't told her any of the information prior to their meeting. She knew she had been careful about taking care of herself, but of course still had some normal trepidation as something could always still go wrong. Perhaps that is a kind of motherly instinct. Luckily, her doctor reassured her it was all fine and the sonogram looked great. She got a copy of the sonogram for the doctor, as well as an email with its several attachments. She was feeling great and happy that all was well. She quickly told her husband the good news, but had no idea what would occur after that. As said earlier, Kathy wanted to protect her privacy, and of course, sonograms are very personal medical information. Therefore, she really didn't want to share it with the world. But then later on, she was to see this. Even though her doctor had told her all was well, Kathy was feeling some kind of motherly concern one day and wanted to get her concern checked out. So she started to do a bit of research online about sonograms. She was shocked by what she found. While browsing online at all the photos of sonograms available, Kathy saw several that seemed to follow a precise pattern that worried her. It made her think perhaps her baby's sonogram was not as perfect as the doctor had told her. But then, Kathy figured out the real issue. One specific monogram instantly got her attention because it looked so much like the one of her baby. Surely it was merely a coincidence. However, she shockingly figured out it was actually her baby's sonogram here on the internet. At first, Kathy was in shock and couldn't believe it. Instantly, she called her husband and started crying. She managed to calm down though and decided to find out who had done this. At first, she suspected her doctor or the clinic, since he of course had all the information. Instantly, she called his office and demanded he explain himself. But the doctor said he didn't do it and that if she came in, he could even prove it. So who would have been able to do it? While on the phone, she instantly remembered a talk she had with someone several days ago. She had admitted to them that she was having a baby and that she planned on taking maternity leave and that she wouldn't be able to hide the fact that she was pregnant much longer. This had to be when it occurred. One of her coworkers had asked to see her sonogram. She said she was curious and thought they were cute. Kathy had been unsure if she should share it, but had blurred her personal data on the pics and sent it to her coworker. That was the act she now regretted big time. A sonogram, as well as pregnancy information, is supposed to be private and special to the women and whomever she decides to confide in. Even though many women love sharing the facts on their pregnancy, They face the chances the ones they tell about it could end up telling someone else, and that breaches her privacy. She was aghast at the fact her coworker had evidently posted her sonogram on the internet on her social media account. Kathy didn't have a social media account and felt she had been horribly betrayed. Her coworker had not merely posted something she had wanted to remain private, she'd done it where Kathy wouldn't even have normally found out about it. And this was not even the worst part. Kathy was confused. Why did her friend do it? It just didn't make sense. She soon found out why. The coworker had done it as a joke. OMG. Yes, that is correct. Why did her coworker do this? What was the joke all about? It seems her coworker was trying to trick an ex-lover and make the man believe the sonogram was her own. Kathy was totally in shock at her coworker's actions. She decided to confront the person. She not just breached Kathy's privacy, but now she would never trust her again. She felt as if they had thought very little of such a special time frame in her life, the very first pics of her baby. She would never forgive her for this horrible act. The coworker just didn't understand why Kathy was so mad, since she had blurred any personal data on the sonogram. She insisted Kathy wouldn't have even cared if instead it had been someone else's sonogram and not hers. Kathy was in shock. She must be nuts, Kathy said to herself. She'd done this horrible act and was not even sorry. She was ready to say something about it in her own defense. She decided to discuss it with her husband, mom, and dad. They, of course, were on her side and were quite helpful. But she wondered, was her coworker right? Was she just being mad for no reason? So she decided to ask someone else if she was right or wrong for being mad. Kathy chose a social media website that was anonymous and proceeded to tell all about what had happened. She knew hundreds or even thousands of folks might see it and give her their opinion on this deed. She told them how uncomfortable she felt about not having any say in the matter and would never know who had even seen her sonogram. She asked if her pregnancy hormones were making her overreact. Was she really upset over nothing? The majority of those who answered supported her and absolutely agreed she was correct to be upset. One commenter even told her that it was indeed a major breach of privacy, and what the hell was her coworker thinking? Another told her that she should inform HR about it and then only see this coworker professionally and lose her as a friend. But a few saw it as being harmless and told her not to talk to HR or the coworker might get fired. They insisted the person was just playing a prank on someone else and happened to use Kathy's sonogram. And if not, they likely would have used another one if Kathy had not shared it with her. Since all her privacy info was blurred, it was just a harmless joke. But Kathy was determined to take it to HR at her office. Her privacy had been breached, and if she acted, it could well save someone else from such embarrassment in the future. Kathy had learned a vital lesson, so she'd never trust a stranger with private info. However, now she also learned that fighting for her privacy is also important and worth the battle. So, whose side are you on? Was Kathy right or wrong? What would you have done if you were her?